Yo, yo. Welcome to you who's watching and you and you and you again. You are watching Culture Gumbo. Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
Number 10. Episode 10. Yo, we made it.
Double digits. I'm excited to be in double digits.
We're official now.
Yeah, I think so. Like we thought we had to make it to what, 6, right? I think that's what we were saying.
They say 7. You gotta make it to 7. But yeah, we're here. So let's get it cracking.
Welcome. It's a new quarter. It's a new season. It's a new day. And we thank you. So anywho, we got a great show lined up. Again, I'm your host, Shakeerah.
My name is Will. But you can call me Wildress, or don't call me anything but that because I won't answer. Don't call me Wildress.
I'm like, what's your other names? Let us know. You know what I mean? If we need to do like a whole group about your name, like
that's Fed talk, man. I'm sorry. You'll need to know all that. I don't know who's watching me.
So, welcome. We have a great show for you today. But first, we're going to start off with something that is trending a little bit. Would you do dinner? Ooh, Jenner, not Jenner. That's not what I meant to say. Okay, that's not what we're talking about today. Would you do dinner with Jay-Z, that is, or would you like to have $500,000? Will, what's your thoughts?
First of all, I don't give a fuck about Jay-Z. I'm a Jay-Z fan. I can go listen to the albums, fam. Okay? If you listen to the albums and you're smart enough, you're going to take the $500,000 because that's what Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z would do. These LLC Twitter people and the folks on Black Twitter, y'all bugging. Okay?
Yeah, because most people say it's valuable to be at the table. And sometimes I do agree with that, right? Because you don't know who's going to be at that table. Just because you haven't dinner with Jay-Z, you don't know if he like so-and-so pull up or so-and-so. You don't, what if your seat at the table with Jay can cause someone else to sit up, or for him to be like, you know what? I like what you're doing. I got you. Here's some money to start it.
You can't get to the table if you ain't got no money. So what you doing?
I was about to say something else. No, the question is, if you had the opportunity to have dinner with Jay-Z or to get $500K put in your bank account right now, what would you choose?
That's not even a question. I'm taking the $500,000. There's no way in hell.
What would you do with the 5? What would you do with the 5?
I'm gonna take. Listen, I'm now legally. I'm gonna take the $500,000. I'm gonna make sure I take care of my parents a little bit. Mm-hmm. Maybe throw about 10 grand into my people. By then I still got 350. I'm gonna take that 350. And I'm gonna take the ideas that I've got that I've already written down, and I'm gonna make these ideas work. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I put money into our production company. I'm gonna make sure that I put money into further advancing my skills, and I'm gonna put money aside. I guarantee you I ain't gonna have no debt. I guarantee you I'm gonna have a full-fledged business, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. That $500,000 is gonna get me where I need to be. Right where I need to be. I don't need to talk to Jay-Z. I can talk to Jay-Z when I put in Blueprint 3 and I listen to the album, or I can listen to Reasonable Doubt. Me sitting with Jay-Z, because first of all, why he gonna tell me all his secrets?
Because he wants you to win.
Listen,
he got money. He might want you just to win.
If Jay wanted me to win, he gonna put all that he need me to know in the lyrics to his song. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna move on.
Well, at first I thought that I would take the dinner with Jay-Z because I do feel like it's very, very valuable. But here's my thing. It could just be just dinner with Jay-Z, right? It could be just like, okay, I'd order the lobster and the steak and some shrimp, and what you ordering? Oh, okay. Now here's the thing. We also know, if you know the character of Jay-Z, he's not a super talkative guy. So, and he not, and being an East Coaster, you know what I'm saying, like from Jersey, New York, and the whole tri-state, you also know that being from Brooklyn, like, why, I agree with you. Why would he just tell you all his secrets when he had to work to get there? And really, in all honesty, sometimes you don't need to be that close to somebody for you to get the secrets. All you need to do is study them. And so for all y'all out there that's like, oh, I'll take dinner with Jay-Z, the reality is, if you go and study the most successful people, you will get some of their secrets. You may not get all of it, but you will get it. And sometimes once they get that big, they tell you some of those secrets because they already made it. So I would take the 500,000 because I got things to do and buildings to buy and investments to have and to go to sleep and wake up and thousands in my bank account. So I'm with you on that one.
This is ridiculous. If you go have a sit down with the McDonald's people, they're not going to give you the secret sauce just because you're sitting down and having a conversation.
No, but they did do a documentary on McDonald's as to how McDonald's got where they are. Eventually, they do give some of their secrets.
And you see Ray Kroc took their ass for everything they was worth because they decided they want to sit down and have a dinner. Ain't no way in hell. Give me 500,000 and let me move on. Let's go to next. All
right. In other news, our culture news. Let's talk about it. So, Elijah McClain indictment.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's about time. I can say seeing George Floyd and listening to the Elijah McClain video, it put me in the same place. Some people are not going to understand that, maybe if you didn't hear the call, but listening to this young man literally scream out and apologize for stuff he didn't have to apologize for, and hearing the struggle and hearing how they treated him, it infuriated me to a place that I had never been before. I'm actually absolutely very happy that his mother is actually getting this justice now. Now that we got the indictment, we need the conviction.
Right, and it'll never bring back Elijah.
I need the officers to be convicted. I need the EMTs to be convicted also.
Right. And they said this was the first in I don't know about in history, but first where in a long time where paramedics was indicted for a crime, which I feel like at the end of the day, those are the first responders. So why shouldn't they be held accountable? You know?
The weird thing about the whole thing is that it's something that literally could have been avoided had these people been trained to de-escalate the situation. So for people, and we're gonna have ourselves, for people who don't understand, this happened literally in August of 2019.
Right.
This is Aurora, Colorado, I believe.
Right.
Elijah's 23. He was walking home from a convenience store. It's cold as shit in Colorado, so of course he had his mask on. There was a 911 caller that reported a suspicious person in a ski mask. They went to the officers. They confronted Elijah. Elijah wasn't armed. He hadn't committed any kind of crime. They said he resisted arrest. If you walk up to a 23-year-old kid who does not understand exactly what's happening,
he's scared to death. He's scared to death.
Exactly, because
like
they started talking to him, the approach was completely all wrong. Not only did they detain him, they held him to the ground. They put him in a hold, literally, that could have been what killed him essentially. But they called first responders and they injected him with something called ketamine, which I'm not fully familiar with. But Elijah had a heart attack on the way to the hospital. He died a few days later after being declared brain dead. So the thing about it is now is you have the indictment. How do you get the conviction, and how do you make the conviction stick? Because we've seen from the George Floyd case, and we've seen from the other case, I want to say in is it Minnesota? There's another case in Minnesota,
right?
Where a cop was indicted. And now they're trying to use, I believe, maybe second degree as if it was not on purpose and things of that nature, which of course you run the risk of affecting the case and not able to get off. but these people have to be held accountable for what they're doing. And essentially, a lot of times, everyone's always looking for a way out. And this young man's life was just
taken for no reason. It was just taken, and he didn't have any opportunity for his parents to see him, go on and do better things. Just no opportunity. And I feel like, it's just too many of these stories. And that was 2019. And of course, we know since 2019 is a variety of other stories and cases that have come out from against young Black and Latino men, in addition to women, that is just unjust. So it's like, when are we going to see justice for the actions of people that are quote unquote in authority? And I think this is one step forward, but we're not going to see it until they are officially admitted to the accusations and found guilty.
But let's also keep in mind that originally the autopsy said that it was undetermined of exactly what killed him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they initially let the cops off. They didn't even share the body cam footage for months.
Right.
You were aiming to cover it up. Like, you killed this young man and you were aiming to cover it up, and you weren't going to say anything about it. The kid had anemia. Right. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And a lot of times this happens because they think that they can get away with it, right? Like, oh, it's just another Black boy in the street. Sometimes we just, there's this, and especially where you are, right? In Colorado or in, not Ohio, but what was the other state? Minnesota. These states where they already don't have a lot of regard for the human race. I'm going to say, period. Especially people of African American and other descents.
I just think it's important that they literally begin to set a precedent on these things and how they're happening and how they're going down, and holding people accountable. You literally try to hide something for months, especially on the heels of, the George Floyd murder happening also literally a year later. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's disheartening to hear, and you feel helpless about it. So I want them to go ahead and just get the indictment. Just make the indictment happen. I don't want to hear shit else about it until then.
Right. And let's, I guess, to be continued. Stay tuned as to what the verdict will be. We still got a long way to go. To think about it, we're in 2021 and this happened in 2019. The journey to justice is slower than we would like it to be because of all the preliminary and all the politics behind these crimes, and the cover-ups and the delay of footage and just everything. So we will keep you posted on what's happening with this case as it continues to progress, because it's what's not talked about every day, because they're like, okay, that's old news.
Yeah, definitely. If you get a chance, read the independent panel report that was put out there. It's going to upset you, but definitely take a read on that. Also, update on the Ahmaud Aubrey case. Jackie Johnson, the DA, actually facing criminal charges for violation of oath of public officer and the obstruction and hindering of a law enforcement officer. How you feeling about that now?
Good. Again, indicted. Won't feel good until guilty, and especially because it's a district attorney. I just think they hid so much in this case, and the fact of like mention, of course, his past can't be mentioned during the case. But I think that the biggest thing is the people that did this to him did not know him. They were, they had no, it's not like, oh, this is, this was all suspicion. Oh, I think because on his run, he may have peeked in the window of a house, it wasn't even like there was nobody in the house. I don't think there was nobody in the house. And then it was just like, oh, the neighbors seen. So maybe he was trying to break in and get what? What do y'all have?
If I'm not mistaken, those houses were still being constructed.
They were still constructing the house. So or being fixed up. I don't think it was like a new house, but to get what? What was he stealing? Like gonna steal 2x4s? What was he stealing on a run? And the thing about it is, it's not like he didn't do that run often. It's just y'all happen to see him that day.
Yeah, definitely.
And the way, and I watched that video so many times, not because I wanted to, but because I tried so hard to figure out what made them hunt this man down like a gorilla.
I watched it one time.
I watched it and I cried, and I watched it again and I cried, and I watched it again, and I just thought, like, if this was my child, I'll be back and going for a run. And it's like, all he's trying to do is just help his health. And now you're being chased down and you don't even know what's going on to even fathom, like, they're trying to kill me. It was probably the last thought you thought, like, oh, they're trying to kill me. So I started to say, like, then the connection of them in the political arena and their history of the connection with district attorney and all these pictures that came out afterwards, and the Trump signs and the Trump hats and the everything else, and or Make America Dumb Again.
Well, the indictment is heavy, the way they put it. So the indictment said that Jackie Johnson failed to treat Ahmaud Aubrey and his family fairly and with dignity by not disclosing that she has sought the assistance of another district attorney before recommending that he take over the case. Ms. Johnson recused herself before George McMichael had worked in her office. She also knowingly and willfully, can't talk today, directed 2 Glenn County police officers not to arrest Travis McMichael, contrary to the laws of the state.
Right, because she's friends with him.
Right. And so now it's actually going to be led by a 4th prosecutor who was appointed May of last year. So it's literally going to be a major opportunity for them to fix a lot of what's broken.
And their trial starts next month. I think October 18th. So that's going to be something to watch.
The prosecution got another win because they were trying to use his previous history against him.
Right.
So they would use like any possible negativity, like arrest or anything, and try to use that in court for the defense. So that's just another win. So if you're keeping score, you can't go get no iced tea.
I know. It's like, it's hard to get that excited about this right now, because we've seen in too many cases where you think it's leaning towards our side of justice, and then it just ends up going that way. And so I still have a little bit of hope, not a lot. I do have a little bit of hope that, sorry, I just got really upset for 2 seconds because I just thought about how the history of this country just continues to repeat and repeat and repeat. And I feel like you could take that same video and match it to another video that happened in 1945, and it's the same video, except we're in the 2000s, in 21st century. And so I'll keep this piece of hope that we will see some justice in this case. His family will see some justice in this case, and that these old white redneck, everything else people.
Say how you feel. One thing I just want to remind people with, and I've had to remind people, is that, yo, the civil rights movement literally still happened like when our grandparents and our parents were alive.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like, just because the fucking photo was black and white does not mean that, oh, it happened such a long time ago. Like, no, bro. Like, this stuff is still fresh. And until all this stuff is addressed, which, I mean, there's so much that you can unpack from racism in itself, from, you know, conversations with a white friend of mine who like was talking to me about sundown towns, which I didn't even know he knew about sundown towns coming from where he comes from. And it's one of those things where being a black person in this world, being a Spanish person, I mean, they putting up walls. Like, you have to understand exactly where we are in this world and the things that we're fighting against. If you're going to be an ally, you have to use your voice. You know, saying, oh, this is not fair what you guys are going through is literally not enough. Like, you have to be accountable not only for yourself and things that you say, but for those around you also. I try to be optimistic about it, but as a black man, I'm not gonna lie to you, it harbors nothing but anger for me.
Right. And that's what it is. It's like, I wasn't angry, you know, and to the people that watch or listen to Culture Gumbo Podcast, we have no, we don't believe in being racist, right, at all. So when I say things that can seem a little hateful, it's because I feel like that came from the people who are hateful. And one thing that I do not support is hate against anybody. Like, I don't believe that people should hate other people, no matter what color, creed, religion, race, sexual orientation, or any of that you should, because hate is just evil, and evil is just devils to me walking around. And I don't feel like, you know, I don't care what nobody did. I don't think we have the right to lynch people in this country. I don't think we have the right to take anybody's life for any reason. And so when I see people and they're old and they're white and their faces are red and pink, and they hate people because they are brown, or they are or have some sort of melanin, or they come from another country, or whatever the case may be, it infuriates me, because they stole this country and they're not really from here. So that's a whole nother topic, but I say all that to say, like, you know, I just don't want anybody to be like, oh my gosh, you know, Culture Gumbo's racist or whatever. No, we're not. It's just that I don't like hate, and we won't tolerate it. And we're going to always speak from a place that affects us, because that's what we know.
Yeah, I mean, it affects everybody. So be an ally and get a free cookie or something. But
right.
Moving from one fucked up injustice to another.
Right.
Roe versus Wade in Texas. So when when create the rundown, Shakeerah always puts it on me to create the rundown for the shows. And then we always go through them. As a man and as a ally.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is that the only thing that I can do is vote and show support for my women folk, my friends who give life to the world.
Right.
I feel like this is a very major point that I wanted to allow you to talk about, because if you all watch the show, you all know Shakeerah likes to hop on her soapbox every once in a while. This is, for me, not a soapbox moment. This is a moment of importance. I just want to say fuck them.
Right.
And then I'm gonna speak after you speak, but I definitely wanted to give you the floor on this one.
So, I mean, of course, everybody know what Roe versus Wade is, which is regarding abortion.
So if you want, I can give a quick synopsis if you want me to do that.
Sure.
So,
and you got to be under a rock though, really, if you don't know. But okay.
So literally, there's a Texas law banning most abortions that took place. So it took effect on Wednesday after the Supreme Court declined to block its enforcement. So what's happening is it's going to challenge Roe versus Wade. The bill is called the Fetal Heartbeat Bill. Yes. So it bans abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy, regardless of rape or incest. So essentially what happens everyone's familiar with someone who's been pregnant before. And I had to ask around to a lot of my female friends so I can get a better understanding, even ask my mom. A lot of women don't even know they're pregnant until maybe the 9th or 10th week a lot of times.
Sometimes, yeah, 8, 9, 10 weeks, like 6 weeks, you very rarely, because a lot of times, of course, when you find out that you're pregnant, the highest indication is I didn't get my period. And of course, so that can take, about 6 weeks, very rarely, because it takes that long to get your next cycle, your cycle. So I still have to say, like, most of the time, by the time you start to get symptoms, whether it's nausea or I didn't get my period, and sometimes for women, you may not get your period, because it's hormonal. So some women can go a month and didn't get their period within a month, especially the older you get. And so it's like, oh, I didn't have it, whatever, it'll come back next month. So now you got time going, and it's about 8 weeks. And if you go that second month and you're like, I didn't get my period, something must be up. But, sometimes you're thinking you might not be pregnant, or you could be on birth control, and depending upon, you have to take birth control at a certain time every day. If you off by taking that birth control at a certain time every day, it's a possibility that you could have sex unprotected and you could still get pregnant. There are also women that maybe do have children and they get their tubes tied and they think that I can't have children, but I myself am a miracle baby and proof that you can have children, but after having your tubes tied, because my mother had me after having her tubes tied and didn't know her entire pregnancy. That's neither here nor there, but but I say all that to say, so in that instance, you really wouldn't know very rarely after 6 weeks, which means that in 6 weeks, your baby's like a dot. It's not even a little lemon or melon. It's really tiny. And it's still, not even developed at all. And so what they're saying is pretty much anytime after 6 weeks, you can no longer get it in Texas, or at least that's what they're passing. And I have a huge problem with that. Now, so here's the thing. I am definitely pro-life, but I don't believe that the government should be able to tell you that you can't make a decision whether you want to keep a child. There's so many reasons. You can have kids. There's people who have kids and get pregnant and realize I can't afford to feed another mouth. So instead of bringing that child into the world, they make a decision that this is a child they're not going to keep. Now, yes, there's other options. There's adoption, there's foster, but sometimes people don't even want that thought to know that they have a child out there that they didn't take care of. So they make a decision. Then, of course, we have rape, you have incest. I know multiple people that have been raped by their fathers, unfortunately. And I know 1 or 2 people that have gotten pregnant. I know one person that had the father's child. Thankfully, the child was not completely deformed, may have had some little learning issues, but for the most part, no. And that's a hard decision. I know I have people that, have got pregnant really young at 15 and 16, and they were having sex and they didn't, use protection, or maybe the condom broke. of course, I think that really could still happen. And they weren't even ready. They were still a child themselves and made the decision to have an abortion. And I was a participant in taking a friend or two to make that decision. Not an easy decision to make, and not something. So one thing, I just don't feel like, we live in a society where supposedly this is the United States, where it's a free country. You can say what you want, but you got limitations. You can, or you don't have limitations. Now it's like, let us control what you do with your body. But yet when you go to the hospital, you have to sign a consent as far as if something goes wrong with this or something goes wrong with that, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to pull the plug? Do you want us to? So I can consent to this, but you're going to tell me you're going to make me do this. I don't agree with that at all. It's one thing if people are out here just keep getting pregnant and, whatever. But at the end of the day, it is your choice. And so Texas, we already know, first of all, this governor, he's the first one that didn't he just get COVID?
Yeah, Governor Abbott.
Yeah, Governor Abbott just got COVID, and he's the one that was like, didn't believe in masks and it was all fake and COVID, yada, yada, yada. And Texas right now has no beds, now, not to get off topic, but I say all that to say, like, just the thought process of sometimes that power and control that he has. Some people I have heard said that they are going to move from Texas because of this decision.
I don't think that's going to resolve it.
No, it's not.
As a person who's, I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm pro-choice. There's no room in the world for me as a man to dictate to a woman what she can or cannot do with her body. It is your body. The one thing that I can do is support you in whatever decision that you're going to make. It's not even up to me to even have a fucking opinion. It's not my body. You know what I'm saying? So I can't come out here and tell you what you can and can't do because I can't feel what you feel. I can't go through the things that you go through.
Right.
The issue that I have with this is the fact that this is actually something that we're talking about in the time period of COVID. The fact that this is something that they even decide to take.
Right. Why is this a topic?
And the fact that you have a person who is literally considered a perceived rapist in Brett Kavanaugh is on the Supreme Court helping to decide who makes these decisions, and old fuck ass Clarence Thomas. Yes, I said it. I'm not apologizing for it. The fact of the matter is that we're discussing this when ironically we can't even get people to agree to wear a motherfucking mask outside.
This is what
children and adults from catching a deadly ass disease, but you want to sit up here and you want to have a conversation over
but this is the distraction. This is the distraction. That's what people don't realize. This is a distraction. Because I'm doing so much over here, let me try to just talk about a bill that we need to pass. Because if I do that, then I can neglect. Like Texas is also the place where the majority of refugees from Afghan or the Afghanistans are over here. I mean, they're in Texas. There's so much happening in the state of Texas that I think this is the most shocking thing, that it was like, if we do this, then we can get more people talking about this so we can do our underlying things that we want to do here, because people are dying. There's so much corruption happening, I believe, right now in the state of Texas. And this is just a distraction. And the fact that it got to the Supreme, like, when these people die, because that's what I'm going to say. So a whole bunch of when you look at, do you see the picture of the people, including Clarence Thompson? They're old and they're white, and it's time for them to go. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just time for a fresh start. And this is why, this is why people need to vote. People forget as to, like, I don't know what Texas turnout was or whatever the case may be, but it's like that governor needs to go. Like there's so many changes that need to happen, and people don't realize why it's important for them to locally vote. This is one of the reasons.
Yeah, definitely. Well, both President Biden and Speaker Nancy Pelosi are both stating that they are working to see what they can get done. I know President Biden said he's going to be speaking with the Department of Justice. Nancy Pelosi said that she's actually pushing to have everyone go against this vote because this is still something that has to be voted upon. So
this is sad. Do you know that there's only 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 states, including Alaska, that there's no restrictions on abortions.
Well, the thing you have to worry about now is that there are other states, unfortunately Florida included, that are looking to pass similar laws within the next few weeks. So,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking at the whole state, the whole country. Only 7 states are not going to have any restrictions. Florida is a state for 24 weeks, except if it's life or life or health related, then they'll let you do it. Other than that, so I saw that to say the whole 6 weeks is only Texas, but all these other, besides my home state, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Vermont, New Mexico, Colorado, Alaska, and Oregon are the only states that's like, you do what you need to do. It's your body. But the rest of these states, including where I live right now, is saying, we're putting restrictions and only life and health are the only reasons. And it's Tennessee is where I reside right now, and it's also going for the 6 week. And it looks like a lot more states are, and I don't agree. It's immoral. It takes away, like, you wonder why years ago women were in their basements, right? They were using hangers to do abortions, and possibility and the possibility of killing themselves because they couldn't have no more kids, or they, the husbands, or whatever reason they wanted to have, they were doing it. And what scares me the most is that
it may start again.
Right. That history may repeat itself because people are like, I can't have no more kids. And I'm not saying that, of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be using protection and you shouldn't, but things happen. Things happen. That's all I'm gonna say. And again, I do believe in keeping life, but I understand at the end of the day, I don't believe in telling somebody they don't have a choice, because that's not nobody's place but you. That's your decision. We all have decisions. So anyway, you said I'm going to soapbox, and I really, really tried not to. I did.
You see, I'm being wrap it up, but this is something major, and I can't.
And of course, I'm a person who does not have any children. Not sure if I can have children, honestly, but I would not want that I would not want the government or anyone telling me what I can and cannot do with my body. And that's just the bottom line. Do I agree with people who have 15 kids and they keep having kids, but some people don't believe in it and they do keep having kids, and that's their choice, right? They got 15 kids, and then you're like, why are they on the system? Well, because they got 15 kids, they need help, but they choosing not to abort. So either way, we have a choice, and I feel like it should be this should be overturned, and it should be overturned in other states that are possibly considering it. So
Well, we definitely have to see where that's going. There's definitely going to be allies for pro-choice because the law that went into effect actually affects ride-sharing companies because the ride-sharing
I
companies
seen that.
actually held accountable and be considered guilty because
Well,
we'll be considering aiding an abortion. So Lyft actually started a 100% fund
yeah, I seen
who
that.
for their ride shares who are actually put in those positions. So
And they donated 100 million to Planned Parenthood.
yeah.
So I think that's amazing because at the end of the day, like if it, in all honesty, like if it wasn't for Planned Parenthood when I was younger, let's just say, granted, whatever, like they are still a needed organization. And I'm going to say that doesn't mean that, again, I'm like, oh, whatever, everybody should just go and have abortions. What I'm saying is like, they also are there to, they're GYNs, so you can check your health to make sure that you're good as a woman down there, that you have what you need, whether, they supply pads and all types of stuff, or preventative, protection, condoms. If you are going to have it, then they give you classes on how to have it the right way. And for single parents and mothers, they're classes to teach you how to be a better mother and all of that stuff. So thank you, Lyft. And because at the end of the day, I'm glad. I like when some companies decide to take a stance.
I can't call it a stance yet. I need to see what's going to happen with it. I see companies talk that talk all the time.
I know, but I'm just saying, when they do and it's for the greater good, then I'm with it. So that's all I can say. All right, on to the next. Let's talk about some other good stuff, because that right there, I probably could go on and on about that. But for the women who are watching, your body is your body. I know God hates abortion, but at the end of the day, you make the decision that you have to make, and nobody else should be able to make that decision for you. And that's my stance. Kanye and Drake, let's go.
Wow. That was a pretty swift transfer. So Kanye and Drake both dropped their albums recently. Donda by Kanye and Certified Lover Boy by Drake. This has been a couple weeks of bullshit, frustration, and literally a pettiness that you can't get anywhere else. This all started, Drake pushed his album back almost a year due to a couple of things, including COVID and injury.
Right.
Kanye's been out here being the phantom of the Ben Stadium. He's
being airlifted.
It's so much stuff to unpack with Kanye because he's such a genius, but he's also so infuriating with the things that he do. You saw things that he does. You saw Kanye drop the Donda album after the night previously performing with DaBaby. Had Marilyn Manson on stage with him, which did not go over with a lot of people.
No, because we know what Marilyn Manson is for. Like what?
And then Drake dropped his album on Friday, which literally broke streaming records.
Yep, not shocking.
I want to get your thoughts on this because I know how you feel about Kanye and Drake, which we don't agree on. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and shoot your shot on this one first.
Okay, so Kanye, odd character. I do like Kanye. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like. I really liked the last album. I thought it was good. I still play it to this day. When this album came out, I listened to it from beginning to end. I liked some songs on there. And as far as the performance and the house and that whole and Marilyn Manson, not really a fan of that, because I know, see, here's the thing. Every creative is a genius, and they're also weird, super weird. I know in his mind, he had something else opposite of what everybody believes. I guess interpretation of his creativity of the performance. But I do think that I still think Kanye is a genius. He's just a little off. He's just a little off. But I mean, the album's okay. The Jay-Z song was cool. I heard, there was other stuff that wasn't played at the moment, as far as like being dropped on the original release. I don't know. Well, I can talk about that, about Andre 3000, which was really good. I'm looking forward to an Andre 3000 album, sidebar. But with him and Kanye, and his verse was had some vulgar curses or whatever in it. It was raw. It was Andre 3000, and it was not officially released in the original album because it being clean was not going to be suitable for the song. And, some songs just require raw, unedited, raw material. And so I was sad to hear that, because I didn't hear the verse.
You didn't hear whose verse?
Andre 3000.
Oh, it's fire. It's fire. It's very deep.
But he's very deep too.
It's fire. So I want to say this, right? So first of all, to me, Donda was very underwhelming. For all the marketing.
I think it was because it was so hyped up. I didn't expect it to be the super duper album.
No, I expected it to be a super duper album because that's what you expect from Kanye West. Donda was very underwhelming. You put 27 tracks on there, and out of them 27 tracks, there was maybe 6 or 7 of them where I was like, all right, cool. And it wasn't even like, oh, I was fired up about it. Then to know that after all this, and you got all this feedback, then you said, oh, Universal dropped the album without you knowing. That's a fucking lie. I'm not taking that for granted.
We know he got full control of his creative process, and he's the one to release it. So
now, Certified Lover Boy, I hate to say this.
It was not Drake's best album, though.
Little Canadian Drake came with the lyrics. Now y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Drake. Y'all do all this extra hate.
Listen, I just feel like the album was a little too soft for me.
Hold on.
It was a little too mellow yellow. It was a lot of singing. It was a lot more singing than he normally does.
No, absolutely not. I don't think you listened to the album then.
I listened to it twice from beginning to end. I think it was a lot more singing than he normally have. It was not a bad album. Don't get me twisted. I don't think it was his best album, though.
I'm not saying it's his best album, but you got to put it up there because lyrically, he went at a lot of people's necks.
It was good. I know. I'm not taking that away. And I got some favorites, but I want to say every song on the album, I'm like, oh, this was hot. That was hot. This was hot. No, but I can definitely tell you a good 7 or.
There were maybe out of all the tracks on the album, there was 1 or 2 of them I didn't feel. There was one
probably more than that I wasn't a fan of.
But see, then too, we know how your track record goes.
No, because I do like Drake's albums.
Nah, yo, you don't.
I'm not a Drake.
Let me tell you something. This is Shakeerah, right? So Shakeerah is the old head in the room. Who? Shakeerah's gonna hear somebody, a young cat, spit some fire. Shakeerah's not gonna pay full homage. Because Shakeerah's like, nah, yo, he's he's not Curtis Blow. So
oh my God, Curtis Blow though.
That's what Shakeerah did.
Oh, you're
Certified
so
Lover Boy was a hot album. I love the fact that Drake was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna come out." Boy went at Swizz Beats. Boy went at Kanye neck. He went at a couple people's neck about stuff. Now, the one thing I don't agree with leaking the Andre 3 Stack song. However,
right, I don't.
However, here's where you all piss me off when we getting on your soapbox of, oh, it shouldn't have been done. Where were y'all at when Pusha T dropped the fucking Daytona album with the cover with Whitney Houston's picture on it?
That's true. Game. Okay.
Where were y'all at when Pusha T put this nigga Kids out on Front Street and made a whole fucking song?
That was wrong. I agree wholeheartedly that was wrong.
Y'all were gassing the hell.
No. Once he did the kids, I was fine with everything else. But once he involved the kids, I was like, no.
Drake pulled a chess move, and as fucked up as it sounds, 3 Stacks was a casualty of that, not because of Drake, but because Kanye decided to go behind 3 Stacks and put a diss verse on a song that was not meant for that.
Right.
Now, you gotta go back and listen.
And Kanye, so it's this girl that I follow. I don't have her name right now. The intro to one of his songs is actually her music. Like, she was on Instagram 3-4 years ago, and she just randomly used to just sing like different gospel music. She's a gospel artist, and
you know the petty ass gospel artist decided to go back and be like, he didn't have to come and say it to you because it was my song,
right? But it wasn't.
But you don't go at her like that because because your song clearly wasn't as strong because they used.
It wasn't your song. They said you repeated everything that she said in the whole clip that she released. So maybe he never knew nothing about her, but she deserves her money.
No, because it wasn't her song. She was covering the song.
But I get it.
She was at home and she covered the hell out of it. She did a great job on it. She covered the gospel song. I can't remember. You can look up the guy's name.
Oh, but the guy is saying because he got paid for it?
Yes, he's the one that cleared it.
Oh, well, then she can't say
he's
nothing.
Taking full credit for it. Nah, you can't. But you can't throw shade at her because he didn't want your original version. He took her version.
Right.
The fact of the matter
is, that's my thing. That's the thing, that he took her version and had somebody else redo it.
I'm tired of y'all letting Kanye off.
No, I'm not saying he get off of that. He doesn't. Like, I was on her page, like, you deserve to be credited. You should be credited.
This is the same Kanye West that was wearing a fucking MAGA hat last year. This is the same fucking Kanye West that was talking about slavery was a choice. This is the same Kanye West that was doing all those things. We got to get to a point where we hold Kanye West accountable, and we don't. And y'all come out here.
That's not true.
Come out here, and it's like a fucking Boondocks episode. Y'all come out here, he does some fucking coon shit, and then he drops a song, and y'all, forget it. You know what it is? It's the Boondocks episode with R. Kelly, where they're in the courtroom. This motherfucker's on trial for peeing on somebody. They play the song and everybody start dancing. This is exactly what y'all doing. Y'all keep giving Kanye the same fucking pass over and over and over and over again. Y'all forget it. So my boy had on the MAGA hat yesterday, but because he done dropped the flame ass song, now all of a sudden everything's off.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Shockingly enough, I agree.
It's trash. His
album is not trash.
The album, it has 27 tracks on it. It's not even fully mixed. There's 5 or 6 songs that are okay.
I just think it was too much hype. I think that he tried too hard. On
top of that, and yeah, I'm gonna interrupt you because I'm on my soapbox now. On top of that, Lil Baby and Jay-Z dropped verses on both albums, and both verses on the Certified Lover Boy album kills this album. Come on.
I'm not gonna argue with that. Nope. I'm not because the songs with Lil Baby and Jay-Z on Drake's album was fire, so I can't.
Kanye dropped bullshit. I miss the old Kanye. Kanye dropped bullshit, and every time Kanye comes out with more and more bullshit, y'all keep giving the excuses.
He could have did better. Just like
y'all keep giving the excuse for these old ass, fucking dusty ass Yeezys that keep coming out.
And I don't like the Yeezys, so you ain't gotta.
The 3,000.
I don't care for. I think they look like slop on your feet.
The 3,000 issue that I have issue with was, the song was dope. You have to hear his lyrics and you have to go back and listen to it. The thing was dope. He actually said something about it. He said the track I received and wrote to didn't have the diss verse on it, and we were hoping to make a more focused offering for the Donda album, but I guess things happen like they're supposed to. It's unfortunate that it was released in this way, and two artists that I love are going back and forth. I wanted to be on Certified Lover Boy too. I just want to work with people that inspire me. Hopefully I can work with Kendrick on his album. I love to work with Baby.
I would love to. Right, I would love to hear him on Kendrick's album.
The thing is, the thing is that you have to remember is 3,000 said I was inspired by his idea to make a musical tribute to his mom.
Right.
It's appropriate for me to support the Donda concept by referencing my own mother. So you mean to tell me you gave him this concept,
but you should have told him you had rules at the beginning.
Why do I have to tell you I have rules for a concept album about your mom?
It's his album.
You have to hear the lyrics before you make that.
Okay. I come back with that.
Because there's no way in hell you're going to hear lyrics from a top 10 MC speaking at heart about his mom and go on the track right behind him and then diss somebody else. That's not what that record was for.
Right.
The fuck am I going to trust you for after this?
Right.
So yeah, Drake was wrong, but that's the art of war. I'm gonna drop the diss track before you can, so I can disarm you. Right. And that's exactly what he did. Unfortunately, it came at the expense of Andre 3000. We got a dope ass verse so we can celebrate. 3 Stacks needed to drop an album, and we need another Outkast.
We definitely need 3,000 back in the game.
Y'all not gonna hold Kanye's feet to the fire. You never are. I'm seeing people on Twitter talking about how upset they are at Drake and this and that and the other. Fuck no. Because at this point, that's just on Kanye. Kanye should have never put that on that album. Kanye should have told us what it was up front, and he didn't. And the verse is remarkable. I'm not even one of those people that like hype something up like that.
No, but 3,000 he is a genius musically.
Crazy.
I believe, in my opinion.
Opinions are usually like off base, but it's all good. So yo, let me put y'all on game, yo. Shakeerah done went and got her hair did. She got her Ghostbusters glasses on. She extra fancy. Shakeerah been coming at my neck all day.
No, I haven't.
Then we always do a meeting before, yo. Shakeerah was coming at my neck. Let's go to the what's going on segment. Let's talk about
what's going on. I need a Marvin beat. Yes, that's what's gonna happen to this.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going? No, because then we ain't gonna put this podcast up because they're gonna say that.
They be trying to get you these licensing. Everybody need their money. I ain't mad though. We gotta get ours, so it's all good.
Ja Rule and Fat Joe are next on Versus.
Here's my take.
I feel it already. I feel somebody's about to get disrespected.
No, I'm not that excited about this. Everybody like, oh, this about to be fire. I'm not that excited about this. You want to know why? Because I love Fat Joe lyrically. Ja Rule, I'm not like a gigantic Ja Rule fan, never have been, but I do respect Ja Rule. I think he can rap. After that whole like festival thing, him as a character kind of made me dislike him. But like you could have put Fat Joe with like.
I think Donda was sponsored by the Fry Festival.
I'm not doing this with you today. I'm not. Fat Joe could have been put with somebody else in New York, besides Ja Rule. I would have enjoyed Ja Rule and 50 just as some old school beef kind of thing.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, I know it's not gonna happen. 50 has elevated his whole life. He's not even gonna do it.
It'll be Gucci versus Jeezy times 1,000.
But I would have liked even Fat Joe and 50.
They cool now, so yeah. But
but I don't feel like this is gonna be. I'm not a fan.
Who had hits? Why y'all keep disrespecting RULE?
Listen, he did. It's gonna be a whole bunch of Ashanti on almost every song.
Okay. So then y'all need to give Ashanti her flowers too and stop trying to play Ashanti to the left.
But Ashanti needs to do a do-over because her with Keisha, she needs to do a do-over. But anyway, Fat Joe, I'm excited to see Fat Joe perform. Let me say that. I mess with Fat Joe from the beginning to now, Terror Squad, Big Pun. I hope my girl Remy comes out. That's just New York to me. Now, Ja Rule gonna come out there being corny, and that's fine. I do like Ja Rule songs though. Like he got a lot of good club songs, like in the club songs, and then I don't know. Whatever. We'll see how it goes. I might really like it, but as of right now, like I'm just like, go Fat Joe. I'm here for his performance. I don't really care about that.
I think it's gonna be a great performance. It's gonna bring back a lot of nostalgia. Ja Rule.
It is. Because Ja Rule was 98, 99. I mean, I will say, like, I bumped.
Ja Rule wasn't 98, 99?
Ja Rule?
Ja Rule was not 98, 99. Who the hell was you listening to?
Now I'm about to pull my phone out. Yes, he was. He came out before that too.
Ja Rule was not 98, 99, fam. Ja Rule's peak was like 2000, 2001. Right before 50 started.
90, he started in 94, dog. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Ja Rule's peak. You said Ja Rule's peak was 98.
I'm about to 99. No. It's Murder came out in 99.
When did Ja become a hit maker? Not when It's Murder dropped. When did Ja become a hit maker? 2000. This
was a hot album.
Get the fuck out of here. No, absolutely not. See, this is why your music takes don't get taken seriously, Shakeerah. Okay.
I was a mixtape lover, first of all. So
like Beyonce, okay, on a consistent basis, and we're not having that, okay, because her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, babe. And now you do this.
Hey, babe.
Nah, yo, we don't. No, the Beehive don't want none of it. They told me they don't want you saying nothing about her. See, you be off. Let me go to the next thing because you was excited about this topic. Trick Daddy was trending this week. And if at no point in life you ever felt like there was somebody out there for everybody, this should let you know. Trick Daddy literally went on Drink Champs and said that he is not only a part of Eat a Booty Gang, but he gets his butt ate out.
Yep.
So first and foremost, I want to know why the hell you're so damn excited to discuss this. Okay?
I'm excited to discuss it, but I've seen a lot of different topics on it, and I think that's really funny. I feel like nobody should be putting their tongue in that direction. That's my personal thing. Him to say that he likes getting it, I'm like, what street walkers do you have in your bedroom? Because who sensible is saying, yeah, baby, like turn over, I don't. So
it ain't turn over, yo. He said he lifts his legs up.
Ooh, that's not gonna say it.
No, listen.
That's even worse. Let's put it that way.
I don't hear nothing about Trick Daddy.
But here's my question: in your whole history of womendom, you ever did it that way?
Have I what?
Did it to a woman?
Nah, son.
And okay, and would you let a woman do it to you?
If there's been a slip up before, I didn't know because I was busy.
That sounds a little shady, bakey.
Well, okay, if we're being adults, it's very close. So don't try to.
I'm not saying it's not close. I'm saying, would you intentionally? This is what I want to do. Okay, maybe not your girl, but maybe your wife.
I mean, my wife. I mean, if she just got out the shower, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
okay.
I'm up there putting my mouth near the discharge. I mean, why not? As long as she know I'm kissing her in the mouth afterwards. Yeah, okay. See, look, see, then y'all want to give up. Nah, See, we know where you stand, okay? Because y'all old timers, y'all be into that kind of stuff. So I'm not even gonna ask you. We already know.
No, I'm not into that. I'm not.
Moving on.
Negative.
You're able now.
I just wonder what makes a grown man at 40, anything almost 50, decide to publicly say this is what they like to do. What makes you come out and say that?
Number one, Trick Daddy is from Florida. Okay.
Oh yeah, and I heard Florida people do it.
Yeah, Florida's into any and everything. Number two, there are people who are very open to being sexually free, and I don't judge that. I know a lot of people who enjoy it. You know
when I get married, we'll be sexually free.
You want to get your butt ate when you
No, I said when I get married, we'll be sexually free. That has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying. Anyway, okay, on to the next topic.
When you married. That's what you're saying. So whoever marries Shakeerah's telling you. No. But I don't knock it. I mean, people want to be sexually open.
I mean, whatever happens behind the closed doors of what you want to do, I guess. I just feel like, there's a lot of germs out there. We talking about COVID, you gotta wash your hands. That's a whole nother category when you gotta go that way. So I'm just saying, but
I already know that that the homies is gonna be sending me texts after they see this episode. And I already know probably gonna be an extra two that's probably gonna hit me up and probably gonna say something. So I'm gonna say right now, if y'all see something on Twitter, man, them motherfuckers is lying.
Somebody be like, no, Will, stop lying, because No, I'm just joking.
I'm fat and I got asthma, so I can't breathe. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, y'all can go back to cleaning your house now because you can go back to streaming Anitra Baker's music. Anitra Baker recently got all of her publishing back and went on Twitter to let us know that not only does she have a publishing back, but you can go back to waking up your kids at 6:00 on Sunday morning, bumping Angel.
Yes, this is Saturday. Who cleans on Sunday morning?
A lot of people who don't go to church.
Oh, I never cleaned on Sunday morning, even when my mother didn't take us to church. It was Saturday.
You clean on Saturday and Sunday morning. If you wake up and you smell that spick and span, you're gonna get that broom, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna clean up. Ain't no days. When the music cut on, okay. When you hear Body and Soul.
No, real talk. Body and Soul and that Luther. It's like, get up. Time to clean.
Going on next, Lil Boosie versus Lil Nas X. I know Lil Nas X is literally your favorite person. For some reason, Lil Boosie and Lil Nas X keep going back and forth.
Why?
Well, see, here's the thing. Lil Nas X, after Drake posted the Certified Lover Boy album cover, which shows like a bunch of women pregnant.
Oh, then he went and did a whole pregnancy photo shoot, which like is totally against the preciousness of a woman and their body.
Here's the thing. Lil Nas X posted this, and then the tweet immediately after, Lil Boosie went on and said, Nas X, what the fuck you just don't stop. I think he's gonna turn around and suck one of his background dancers' dick on national TV. Hashtag protect yours. Hashtag God turn over his grave. I
wouldn't be shocked if that happened. That's why.
So here's the thing. Homophobic people, you are literally giving Lil Nas X all the marketing that he needs.
I think that's the only reason why he's doing it, in all honesty.
He's minding his business. He's minding his business. He's being who he is.
When I seen that, I was like, he just wants attention.
But the fact of the matter is that people who are upset about it, what are you upset about? Because you're not upset.
I've seen a lot of women upset because women, it said it's not homophobic for me to not like this picture because I take having a baby very seriously.
Right.
And I don't agree with the fact that you feel like it's okay to mock pregnancy. And so I don't think that that's homophobic for you to be like.
But most people are not upset because of that.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the other reasons are. Besides that, I'm like, he's an attention getter. Who cares?
Most people are not upset. Most people are upset because it's Lil Nas X and he's posting this. I want to know why the hell Boosie got all this time on his hands to be focused on this. Why are you waking up at 6 a.m. tweeting about a grown man sucking dick?
I ain't got no words for that one. In all honesty, I don't. That's not, you know what I mean? And that's my thing. Like, I seen it like, okay, I don't need to be commenting under nobody's page or saying whatever, because all it does is adds more fire to the flame. And it's like, at the end of the day, he can do what he wants to do. I don't care. You know, I don't agree with the whole mocking of pregnancy, and I do believe that it is something that's sacred. But again, I do know why he does what he does, and it is just to piss people off. And like you said, or just to have people that are homophobic to say whatever about him. And so that's why he does it. So it's like, if you know that, then, I mean, what is there to be, you know, it is what it is. So I don't really look at that as, oh, I'm not an outrage for this. I'm not, because.
Did you make a Cookie Monster noise just now? You went,
yeah, like, because that's how people, I'm so angry. I'm so, you know, that's what they do. Like, and I seen like people on my Facebook page, and they was posting like, look at this. And I'm like, but every time you share this, or every time you're saying, look at this, like,
right, you get more press.
I get the news. I see what I see. Like, do we need to share? You know, so it's like, if this is something you don't agree with, then you sharing it only increases the the marketing behind it. You know what I mean?
I have no room no room for hate in my heart for Young Bull. Like, if you really read up on his story, like, yo, man, be liberated, do what you do. Parents, you have the right to turn off your TV. You have the right to block the things that your kids are seeing. Lil Nas X,
right, because he's not my fan. I'm not his fan. I don't play his music. I don't really care for him. And it has nothing to do with nothing.
He's already told us from jump that the music is not for the kids. So if you keep complaining about the shit, then that's on you. Y'all wasn't complaining when Madonna was up there humping Leon in the motherfucking video like 20 years ago.
Well, there were a lot of people complaining.
Get the fuck out of here. They weren't complaining about shit.
They were. They
literally just trying to say that Madonna was the queen of pop. Madonna's not the queen of pop. That's Janet Jackson. They were literally trying to tell that to her. They were literally trying to say that a couple days ago.
That is totally Janet Jackson.
So I'm not trying to hear that shit, man. Fuck them, man. Birth your baby, dog. I'm not buying the album. I don't care to listen to it. It's not my music, but whatever. Lastly, they got me all worked up and frustrated. So in last this week, both Naomi Osaka and Shakeerah Richardson both took losses in their latest races matches. And people are actually saying that maybe they're not built for it, which I think is bullshit.
That is so stupid. They are both so talented in their arenas. And you got to remember, like, these, especially Naomi Osaka, she's been doing. Like, every once in a while, sometimes your body needs a break, sometimes your mind needs a break. They're both still so young. So the growth there to continue to do what they do is phenomenal. I think they're both just winners in my book, regardless of what. And I love to watch both of them. I think Shakeerah has a lot of growth and a lot of things to do, and we're going to see more of her in commercials and ads, and she's going to, I see her getting even bigger. And same for Naomi, but it's like Naomi may just decide she want to do something else just because she's been doing that all her life. But right now, like, to say that, it's like, no, they're built for it. And they're going to continue being the best of who they're created to be. So kudos to everything that they've done thus far. And I look forward to continuing to see them go higher.
You took the word right out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we out of time.
We are in wrap up mode. Well, so it's been a rough week, 2 weeks. Well, actually, it's been a rough week. We heard that Nene Leak's husband passed on due to colon cancer just this week. And that was really, 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 really sad news. I met her a few years ago at a Broadway play she did, and him, and in New York. And I remember they got out the car, and I was like, I wasn't a huge housewives. I wasn't a huge fan at the time, but my family was there, and they were like, "Oh, Nene, hey!" So we took pictures, and then Greg came and he got out the car. We were like, "Hey, Greg!" And we tried to take pictures with him, but it was a lot going on, a lot of people out there. But it was really cool. They were really genuine, very just pleasant as far as dealing with not like real star acting or anything like that, and just watching them over the years and so forth, and her love for him. So my heart goes out to Nene Leakes, because I know this is probably one of the most hardest things she's had to do, is say goodbye to a best friend and somebody she loved and cared about so much. And cancer sucks.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Amongst everything else that's going on in the world with COVID and everything. And then the other piece is yesterday, I lost a great friend of mine, Fuquan Latif Johnson, originally from Maplewood, New Jersey, moved out to LA about 15, 20 years ago. And he's a comedian, he's a writer, he's been on All Def, is it All Def Comedy? Yeah. He's done stuff with pretty much every major comedian coming up now, from gosh, I'm just drawing blanks right now. Pretty much anybody you watch right now that's coming up that's young, he's been a part of. And I've seen him on so many social media pages just in the last 24 hours of how much love he gave. And when he came into the room, he lit up. Unfortunately, it was published that he had drugs in his system that was laced with fentanyl, which is what Mac Miller died from, Prince died from. Sometimes, just living in LA or being a celebrity, either you're getting it from a doctor, or you are, like, unfortunately with Fuquan, it was laced. And so whoever sold it or gave it to him, I don't know if he purchased it or whatnot. Unfortunately, he died due to that overdose, and that hit hard. But if I just say a prayer to his family, his best friends, his friends in LA, his friends in Jersey. If you're on social media, go take a look at his posts. If you're ever having a bad day, he was funny. He was raw. His jokes are always about sex or something related to just being a real stand-up, upfront Jersey. He repped Jersey till he died. I'm just gonna miss him. I've been spending the last 24 hours like trying to figure out the right words to say, or I started binging all of his content. And I was just like, since I've known him, I was maybe 13, and he was 15 or 16. And the same person he is today at 42 is the same person he was at 16. Goofy, funny, and all that stuff. So I just want to send my prayers to his family and say how much he was loved by us and everyone in the world. Because I talked to a friend of mine today, and she said, all I could think of him saying right now is seeing all the people that showing him love and being like, yo, I'm famous. Yo, because yo is his name. Yo, I'm famous. He'd be like, yo, I'm famous, and it would just be, that's my biggest thing. So I'm like, yeah, he's viral, fool. You viral now, which he's always wanted to be. And he died doing what he loved to do, which was comedy. And I'll if nothing else we get out of this life is do what you want to do what you love doing, and you will have a fulfilled life, whether you make it to 90 or you don't, or your time on this earth is short, but do what you love to do. And sorry, that just kind of brought me down a little bit, but
very well put. It's definitely been another very amazing episode of the Culture Gumbo Podcast. Definitely be looking out for our social media page launches coming up. Thank you for sticking by us. If you support either one of us, you know how much this takes out of us and how sobering this is for the both of us to produce this content when we produce it. You're definitely gonna get it on a consistent basis now.
Yes. Oh, you forgot one thing before we go. What are you listening to? What are you watching?
Yo, you know what? What am I listening to? Right now I'm listening to Kevin Ross.
I love Kevin Ross.
Kevin Ross just dropped a single called oh man. And it's dope as hell too. It's been on the brain. Kevin Ross, Looking for Love. It's a very dope R&B record. If you haven't heard it, I would definitely.
I love all his. I just be waiting for him to pull a full album. He always does EPs.
Yeah, he already dropped another EP, and his covers are dope too. I was listening to his cover of Love and Need a Love, the Stevie Wonder joint that he did, and he got the joint for Prototype, which is fire.
Okay.
He's done a lot of covers.
I'm gonna listen to that today.
Doing that. What else am I listening? What else am I watching? Supporting the homies in professional wrestling. We went to Full Sail University. So I have a lot of friends who work in professional wrestling. AEW is doing their major pay-per-view tonight. So supporting my friends so they can continue to be employed.
Yeah, you gotta get you some tickets. Have you gone?
I haven't gone. I've been considering going. I've been trying to hold out on AEW because my friends in WWE some are still there, some are have lost their jobs, whatever. But I'm kind of getting into it now. Then one of my friends is actually getting ready to go into it now, so getting ready to watch it for the first time tonight. What else am I watching? Oh yeah, and I'm watching Titans on HBO Max. I just started watching that, so that's really dope. So what are you watching?
Listening to, so I haven't really been listening to as much new music besides those two that we talked about during this episode. I'm podcasting listening right now, doing like some self-care. I listen to this current podcast. It's about self-care and procrastination. But more about self-care, if anything. And so I'm listening to that, and I'm reading a book right now about how to spend your time off, because I'm a workaholic. I can be. So how to effectively be off and stay off. Why do some people why do you have to read a book about that? Because I will work 24/7. It's a holiday weekend right now, and
we're working.
Probably gonna be working.
We're working now. So
yeah. So it's like, yeah. But it'll pay off soon. And I just finished Clickbait. tell me you've watched it.
I have not.
You gotta watch it.
I keep having people tell me that I need to watch it, and I can't bring myself to watch it because I hate watching stuff when it's popular.
Tell me why that's smart.
I just don't, because people hype things up so much, and then me being a creative, I go and watch it and I'm disappointed. I'm like,
no, you're gonna enjoy it. Now, I will say the very last episode, you're gonna be disappointed. Only the last episode. The last episode, you're like, huh?
Like
okay.
I watched White Noise because everybody made a big deal about that, and I was so disappointed in White Noise.
No, I like clickbait. It's really good. I was expecting it to be worse than it was. Let's put it that way. And I did binge it because it's not that many episodes, so I binged it. Very good. I wasn't expecting it, but I kind of, being a creative, you do be like, oh, that's the answer, which I hate those kind of movies sometimes, but it was really good. So when you get a chance, watch that and tell me your thoughts.
I did see Vacation Friends, which is actually very fucking funny.
Okay, I was going to watch that. I seen someone post about that the other day and I was like, is this new? That's on Prime, right?
It's on Hulu.
Well, whatever. I'll take a look. But so yeah, okay. Well, that is our show, and want to thank you guys for watching today, listening today, whatever day, whether in your car. We hope that we have entertained you, we have enlightened you, we have inspired you, and continue to support our Culture Gumbo movement because that's what it's about to be. And follow us on everything.
Definitely get it together. Follow us on social media because social media pages are coming. Keep the main thing, man. Love on somebody today, and just enjoy life, man. You know what I'm saying?
We love you. Peace.